But at any rate, I want to talk about, I got a couple people, is it microfilm, Ryan? That's good? Okay. I got a couple people that were kind of emailing me and calling me yesterday in a panic about, are we having a sales meeting today? And I know we've been a little bit off schedule here and there, but I just want to remind everybody, if you go to our website, this is our website, we've updated the calendar and we're doing a pretty good job on it now. So if you want to know if we're meeting, you can go to our Coldwell Banker Marina Valley site. We got the calendar fixed. Last time we had this up, our Monday was over here, so now our calendar looks like a real calendar. So at any rate, we've got this out for the entire year. So if you're wondering, I haven't gotten an email from Anna, I don't know whether we're having a meeting today, go to the calendar. If it's on, was this May? May 9th, there we are, 9 o'clock, Marina Valley Sales Meeting. Okay? If it's on the calendar, we're doing it. So we'll still, who got the email I sent last night? When did you get it? Last night or this morning? Last night.
Last night. 8:30.
Raise your hand if you got it last night. Love you. All right, good. Because I sent it at like what, 8 o'clock, 8:30? Or 7:30? 8:30. All right, good. So you're checking your email. So you're here. All right, that's perfect. At any rate, you'll also notice I have 10:30 on here. We are doing our property management sales training as well. So if you're interested in that, I think we had quite a few people last month that stuck around for that. So we'll take about a 5-minute break after this meeting, and we'll do some property management sales training for those of you that are interested. By the way, if you're wondering, well, wait a minute, Lance, you just did that last month. If you didn't attend last month's training class, this is not going to be a repetition of the same thing that we did last month. So this is not, hey, I missed last month, I want to see it again. We're probably going to do somewhere in the neighborhood of, I don't know, probably 10, maybe 12 of these before we start repeating. I don't even know what we're going to talk about today in the property management side, but it'll have something to do with, I don't know, we'll take a poll. What do you want to talk about? Evictions, tenant screening, move-in inspections, and we'll do 45 to 50 minutes on that. And then next month we'll do something else. So, all right, please use our calendar. That's the website for it. I got this out of order a little bit. We'll come back to that. I got this out of order a little bit as well. I just was throwing some random thoughts on the PowerPoint so I wouldn't forget stuff. Starting pretty quick, Brian and I are working on doing some Google Adwords stuff. We've played around with this a little bit in the Claremont-Covina market. But for the most part, we haven't done any serious Google AdWords campaigns. And we put together a budget. We're going to start with about $1,000 a month. Depending upon the results we get, we'll raise it or lower it. I don't imagine we'll lower it. I'm going to commit to a minimum of $1,000 a month for at least the rest of this year. And we're going to see what we can do to kind of get our placement as far as website searches up a little bit. There's a couple of real basic searches that I've done recently, which actually is what made me do this. I did a search for Coldwell Banker Merino Valley, just for giggles. And we weren't the first company that showed up. And a non-Coldwell Banker company actually showed up above us. And then after you do a little research, they were running some AdWords stuff that basically, that was about a month ago. I did the same search yesterday, and we were at the top. And I think that might have to do with some of the stuff that we're doing. Our website, I'm really proud of it. Brian has done a great job. We need to thank him for that because we're really starting to get some. Very good. But at any rate, we are going to do some Google AdWords stuff. So if you guys have any thoughts on it, we're going to do the basics that you might think. Real estate, Merino Valley, real estate, Riverside. We're going to throw some property management stuff in there. I want to buy, I want to sell. We've got a list of hundreds of these things. Actually, I think it's even more than that. So anyway, we'll play around with it, and obviously those leads are going to be pushing out to you guys. Okay, I'm a little out of order. I should have done that at the end. Monthly sales awards. Where's my Vanna White at? I apologize. I was not prepared at the April meeting to do the March sales awards. So I had multiple people come to me in the last couple of days and say, what's that? We don't do sales awards anymore? So in an effort to let you know that your new manager is aware of recognition and sales awards. So actually we got a whole bunch of them today. So we're going to do the March and April sales awards. Unfortunately, I see a few people missing that are going to hopefully be recipients of those. So we're going to start with our top listing agent for the month of March. And we had a tie. And I see Paul. Paul Herman, come on down. Would you help me sort these through here a little bit, if you could? And Diane Arnoff. And you are not. Which one's this? Paul? There you go, Paul. Congratulations. I'm trying to step these up a little bit instead of just giving you a piece of paper that you're going to throw in the drawer. We actually put them on a nice little plaque. So that looks good. And Diane's not here? Okay, so we'll find Diane later. Now keep in mind, if you think you are the top listing agent for the month of March, you need to come see me. Because all I'm looking at is information that's been reported into the system. So if you're not filling out sales reports and you're not putting in that stuff, the closing side of this is really easy because I just based it upon checks. If I give you a check, there you go. Okay. The listing side I'm finding is a little bit tougher. It's the first time I've actually done this, and I should have consulted with Shelley a little bit before we ran the numbers. The only way I have to determine who took the most listings in a month is based upon what you guys have actually reported and put into the MLS. So if you think you might have missed one, let me know. For the top listing for the month of April is the Delgado team. So there you go. Congratulations, buddy. Alrighty. And I will tell you, for those of you that are wondering, gosh, it would have been nice to be top listing agent, it didn't take that many listings. You know, we're going to talk a little bit later about inventory. It didn't take a whole lot of listings to become, and I don't mean a whole lot. I don't know how many of you guys have, but it was 3 or 4. 3 or 4. And I mean, that's, you know, not that they're, you know, Teresa and Danny aren't working hard, but you know, getting a couple 3. And frankly, I think the month before that was even less. I think our when Paul and Diane split March, I think it was 2. 2 listings. Yikes! Top listing agent for the month. Okay, top selling agent, and Diane is not here, so Abe, give Diane a hand. She's top selling agent for. Oops. Sorry about that. Don't look. Close your eyes. Everybody close your eyes. Where was I? Okay. Okay, that's where we just left off, right? Okay, and top selling agent for March is Leander. So, everybody give Leander a hand. Okay, we've got a couple of other awards. These are actually Coldwell Banker Corporate Awards. I should know exactly what the qualifications are to get these, but the numbers are actually pretty heavy. So for 2011, and these came from Coldwell Banker Corporate, and I know how much Dwayne loves these things, so we're just going to do this really quick, because he hates giving this stuff to public. So that's the international premiere for 2011, comes from Coldwell Banker Corporate, and it basically means you sold a few houses. The international sterling, come on down, Team Delgado once again. I apologize, I should know exactly. Congratulations, I'll take this. Alrighty. Congratulations, buddy. Again, I should know more as to exactly what sort of volume it is. I think that's $4 million or something like that. Interested in that, again, I can certainly tell you, but if you go to Coldwell Banker Works, and if you're truly motivated by this type of stuff and unit sales, just go into the Coldwell Banker Awards and it'll say this is how many units you have to sell, or this is how much sort of volume. And they break it out in 2 ways. They break it out by unit sales. So if you sold 25 houses but they were all $40,000 condos, they're going to recognize you for that. But if you sold 7 houses but they were all, you know, $800,000 property, you get recognized for that as well. So depending upon what sort of marketplace you're in. And then Wilson, I didn't see Wilson here. Wilson is here. Drag Wilson out here. And 2011 International Sterling. Wilson, come on down. We're going to give you some love. Are you surprised? Congratulations, buddy. All righty. And I think that's the last one we've got. Oops, I'm sorry. I got one more, and Diane's not here. And you may notice they just have a very subtle play on words. The International President Circle, as opposed to, I think Dwayne was International Premier, whatever it happens to be. But again, Diane Arnoff. And again, this is for 2011. So everybody else, all you got to do is get out there and just bust it a little harder, and we'll get you up here next month. Okay, I'm going to talk a little bit about Lead Router. Who has not been trained, gone through a mandatory training in Lead Router? Raise your hand. Okay. If you're in that class, or you've raised your hand, so to speak, no more lead router leads for you. Okay. So if that's important to you, you need to come see me, and we need to get. We have the mandatory training on video, and basically the way we'll get you back into the lead router system is two ways. Number one, I'm going to force you to watch the video, and it's just tedious. I think it's about an hour and a half, and then we just need to sit down eyeball to eyeball, and we need to review a couple of things. We are down to a total, I think, of 38 agents, maybe. Anna, what was the final number? 38, 42? Yeah, it's less than 45, I know that. Of agents that are currently eligible to get listings in lead router. Not listings, to get leads in lead router. Now, for those of you that are part of that 40 agent group, you might say, wait, I haven't really noticed a lot of call volume change. Full disclosure, I have not gone through and deleted all the rest of those agents, which I said I was going to do a week ago. That's happening today. Right, Anna? We're going to do that today. If it's important to you, and it should be, you know, I saw the Delgados and Don Miller's hand go up, come see me, and we'll talk about that. You know, the reality is we've cut over 100 agents out of the system, and I bet 50 of those 100 won't even know they're gone. So, you know, hopefully you guys will be the beneficiary of picking up those leads. Also, really quick, and I want to introduce Durana and Paul Worth. Everybody knows Durana, I would assume, with Coldwell Mortgage. And Paul is Durana. You're her immediate boss, or you're like one of the big bosses?
Immediate.
The big boss?
Actually, she's my boss.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna emphasize this pretty much at every sales meeting, specifically since it seems like most of you guys in here are generating the lead router leads. Anything that's coming in on the Fannie inventory and any mention of home path at all has got to get over to Durana. Okay. 100% of those leads have to get to Durana. If there's, again, any mention whatsoever of home path, it's absolutely required. Okay? No exceptions. So, okay. Market data. This is just an old chart. I've got two charts I want to show you guys. Good news and bad news with both of them. This is CRMLS median price, and it is absolutely dead flat. This is all of CRMLS. For a 2-year window, it's been zero change. You know, Jennifer asked earlier what the median price is in Marina Valley, and someone said 150, whatever it is. I think 160. Is it that much?
That's like 165.
We're going to pull it up, but the median price in CRMLS is actually 229. That kind of surprised me, and I don't know why it surprised me, because I've been looking at these charts for forever. But at any rate, I guess I really wasn't paying attention. So at any rate, property value stable. Yeah, they're stable. According to that, they're stable. The next one I want to show you real quick. And again, you guys, this is CRMLS. I'm a little afraid of this. This inventory level is continuing to drop. Based upon the listing inventory that I'm seeing hit the market, I think it's going to be down even lower. Someone told me, I think Drew told me that Mike told him, how many properties do we have in Marina Valley right now? 350? 350 active properties in the MLS in the city. To put that in perspective, that's about 1/4 of the listings that we had 5 years ago.
And how many of those are short sale?
Well, what was the stat you were giving me as far as the price ranges?
He had about 10 of them.
Well, a lot of them are short sales. There's certainly more short sales on the market than bank owned.
So there's even fewer listings.
And there's even fewer. Absolutely.
Something crazy, like he had looked for houses, 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, 110 or less, and there was 3.
Right.
And all 3 of them were short sales. And then you looked like 125 or less in that same category, and there was like 15, and there was only 1 REO out of those 15.
Right. It's pretty scary stuff when you just look. These are the actual numbers. This is the April number. There's 35,000 properties in the entire CRMLS, and you've got to go back to, I don't know when you got to go back. This is 2 years worth of data. If you go to April of last year, we had 57,000 properties on the market. So my quick math is, what's that, about 35% more properties, 40% more properties on the market? This is very, very, very troubling to me, okay? Now on the pending side, and I guess, you gotta take the good with the bad, we put in, and this is April data, right, this is April data. We opened 10,888 escrows in April. Did you guys get a piece of that? Did you have a good April? We're gonna have a very good May closing, okay? Our May closings are gonna be good. It looks as though our June closings are gonna be good. We're set up for what appears to be a little bit of a recovery. The X factor in this, quite honestly, is inventory levels. You can't sell it if they're not on the market. So the demand is fantastic, but again, our supply levels are pretty troubling. And the last number, if you are out taking short sale, actually any listing for that matter, but if you're specifically out taking short sale listings, and we're talking about this, I had an REO team meeting yesterday, and we've got to do monthly marketing reports on all of our stuff. And normally when you haven't sold a property in 30 days, you want to do a monthly marketing report, and 9 times out of 10 you're going to ask for some sort of price reduction. We're like, well, we're not asking for price reductions. We're saying, no, leave it the way it is. There was some other reason why we didn't sell this property in the last 30 days, which normally it's always price, but we're not asking for price reductions on most of our stuff because there's not enough inventory. There's our chart, 1.9 months of inventory. In other words, we're out of business in, what's this, May and June. At the end of June, there's nothing left to sell. Out of business. So go out and take that short sale inventory. You got to take that short sale inventory. Dwayne and I are struggling with new assignments. I think you got a new Freddie today, I saw. We had a fairly good April with, April, confused with month. But a fairly good April as far as new assignments on the REO side was concerned. But relative to maybe a year ago, April, it was pretty quiet. And it certainly was better than March, April, and May. January, February, and March. But it was still not great. So I would encourage all of you guys to go out and capture some short sale stuff. Along those lines, I don't have this on the presentation, but I'm going to insert this. I was at a meeting in Monterey last week with the Coldwell Banker corporate guys, and I had never heard of this before as a way of kind of data mining to getting leads. And we're going to do this. It's fairly inexpensive. We will do it as a company, and we will push these leads out to you. But basically, we're talking short sale prospecting. There are companies out there that data mine credit reports, and what we're going to ask for are individuals that have taken out a loan between 2006 and a year ago, that are have at least a 30 or a 60-day delinquency on their credit report. Okay, we're not necessarily going to ask for the ones that have a 90 or 120 or whatever, because those are a little easier to find. Where can we find those? Assuming there's a notice of default file, where are we going to find that data?
Foreclosure
We're going to find on foreclosure rate. We can get that sort of stuff. But if you're only 60 days behind, the chances are probably pretty good there's not a notice of default file. So we're going to buy that list. And they're going to apparently give us, and obviously we can do it by market, give us Moreno Valley, Riverside, whatever market we want. So they'll basically give us lists of people that have taken out a mortgage in the last, say, 6 years that are 30, 60, 90 days delinquent. Logic being they won't have an LD filed yet. And then we're going to give those leads to you guys, and you're going to knock on their door and solicit them for short sale business. One of the things I hadn't really thought of, but it makes perfect sense, when is the bank more active in calling you and beating you up when you're delinquent on your mortgage? In the beginning, okay? You're getting the letters, you're getting the phone calls. I mean, you're getting, hey, what's going on, what's going on, what's going on? So there's, needless to say, going to be a lot of activity and a lot of pressure, so to speak, on those sellers or those potential sellers in that particular range. And we can also do it by price. We can identify median price in Moreno Valley, and again, it's going to drive me nuts. Let's pull it up where we're yapping here. If we feel median price in Moreno Valley, let's take a pool here. I'll give away a little bit of money. Who said 160? 165? Feeling pretty good about that?
Well, there's no inventory under
Let's do the
150.
over-under.
That's the problem. So it drives it up.
to say about 145.
Yeah, I was thinking 150.
$1 Bob.
It's gonna be better than that. It's gonna be better. Anyway, this takes a second to pull up. But anyway, while I'm waiting for this to load, we're going to start doing that data mining. I don't know how long it takes to get the info, but as soon as I get it, we'll start quick. Who is actively soliciting short sale business? Okay, well then you'll be on the top of the list. If you are, of course, actively soliciting it, come see me. Kind of like what we've done with Lead Router, I'm not going to just shotgun this information out. You know, you're gonna, you know, if you're working it and you're committed to working it, we're gonna go ahead and support you with those leads. So, okay, while that's pulling up, let's move along. This will take about a minute or so to pull up. Okay, so at any rate, the market is improving. I'm really excited from a standpoint. Again, if you just look at our chart, the pending sales are good. Pending sales are good. It's just the inventory level that concerns me. So there's some good stuff going on there. I think I'm just going to keep this chart up until I get a new one. Who's using this chart in their presentations? Use it. This is that housing. This is the 6th or 7th time I've showed this to you. If now's not a good time to buy, you need to look at that chart and convince your sellers. This is your rent index as it relates to housing prices. Okay, escrow. I wanted, again, where's Summer at? I saw her earlier, and Bernice. I just want to thank Summer and everybody in the office that's supporting Summer. She's doing a great job. I got to tell you, we literally have gone from no escrow business to capturing significant amount of escrow business. And I can't tell you how happy I am with that. 149. Who said 150? Someone said 150. There you go. You guys won the prize. But it was 160 2 years ago. It was 160 April of 2010, and we've been floating around, and we're basically 150 right now in Marina Valley. What's that?
June of 06. What was it?
June of, what was the median price in June of 06?
Oh my God.
Yeah, 350-ish.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That is the peak of median prices in, frankly, pretty much the entire country, or certainly in our area. So anyway, back to this. Again, I want to thank Escrow and Summer specifically. She's doing a great job. You guys are supporting her. I think we've got 25 or more open escrows, and that goes a long way to help paying the light bill. So again, I really appreciate it. We're going to talk about property management again. If you're interested in that, come to our property management meeting. We'll start a little bit after 10. Stuff. Got a couple things to talk about from CAR. Okay, I'm going to continue. I hope you guys aren't getting bored of this. I'm going to continue to pound into your head this bulk sales stuff. At the CAR meetings last week, I kind of sad this letter came to me before it came to the leadership of CAR. But this is, who's heard of Director DeMarco? Okay, Director DeMarco. What's his first name again? Edward. Edward DeMarco is basically the boss at FHFA. Okay. If you're subscribing to any blogs or real estate stuff, don't feel bad because I'm bad with that. You know, people say, "Do you remember who's this guy? Who's that guy?" And I have no idea. And then they say, "Oh, he's with that." You'll find this DeMarco name all over the place. His fingerprints are all over the real estate market and all over our economy right now. We had Senator Gary Miller, not Senator, Congressman Gary Miller was in our Redlands office a week. Who went to that thing? A few of you? Thank you for those of you that did go. Frankly, the office attendance was terrible. I was, not to beat you guys up, but I was embarrassed. We had a sitting U.S. congressman in our office, and we had 9 of our realtors show up. Sitting U.S. congressman. How often do you guys get to go see sitting U.S.
I think that says something about the government, though.
Well, it does. It does, and I understand the frustration level. But at any rate, the reason I mentioned Gary Miller is he's been an advocate, and he's been trying to stop this bulk sale stuff. Okay. He wrote a letter on our behalf about 3 months ago to FHFA to say, hey, this is a bad idea. There's two parts of this. I'll read it to you because it's probably a little hard to read if you don't have great eyes. This is the Secretary or Director DeMarco's response to his letter saying this is what we're doing this, and this will absolutely put you on the floor. And I know this can be a little dry, and I know this little Lance is going off on this stuff. I gotta tell you, this is the survival of our business, in my opinion. If this stuff continues to go through, the number of agents in this office making a living at the end of the year will be half of what it is today, because we will have nothing to sell. Okay, regardless of how great of a salesperson you are. Okay, this is him explaining what this bulk sale thing is all about. The initiative is a targeted strategy to provide relief to local housing markets where home prices continue to be depressed by the excess supply of local housing, excess supply of foreclosed properties. The markets selected for this pilot are categorized by insufficient number of home buyers and a strong demand for rental housing. Excess supply of foreclosures, insufficient amount of buyers, and guess who was targeted in this first bulk sale round? Riverside, Los Angeles County. I'm pretty sure that 2 properties that I currently have under my inventory are in this bulk sale. I don't know for sure. So this is our federal government. To get to Dwayne's point, if you just want to throw your hands up and say, I give up, this will make me want to throw my hands up and I give up. This is our federal government saying the reason they're doing this is because of excess supply of foreclosed properties and insufficient number of buyers. And they decided that fits Inland Empire.
Complete backwards.
Are you kidding me? I mean, does it actually, I mean, it makes me sick. And then the objective, this should scare the hell out of everybody in this room. This is the objective of the pilot. The objective is to evaluate, A, alternative approaches to retail disposition. What is that?
No real estate market.
Well, what is the current approach to disposition of REO properties, Fannie, Freddie, and HUD?
Everyone's
Us.
jobs.
We are the current approach to disposing of those properties. And it's not just me and it's not just Dwayne. You guys are representing buyers on these properties, right? So they're looking for alternative approaches to disposing of this inventory, which completely wipes out everybody in this room, including mortgage and including title and including everybody here that is involved in a residential real estate transaction. The second part of the pilot is to assess investor interest in various types of assets targeted specifically for rental conversion. Are they going to find investors interested in buying these properties?
Absolutely.
Right? Does it sound like they're going to do more of this? They're in bed, alternative disposition, and they're going to want to know who's interested in buying these houses. If we had, as a group, if we had $500 million and we could buy properties on 40 cents on the dollar, would we be interested in buying that? You think there's going to be interest in this? There's interest in this. There are people salivating at hedge funds and what have you with large amounts of capital. And who in here is working with an investor that has $500 million of capital? Who in here has truly ever worked with an investor that had more than $1 million worth of capital and bought more than 5 or 6 houses in a 12-month window? Bought more than $2 million.
I want 3 mil.
3 million. Okay, they don't qualify. Need not apply. Okay? If you're not in the hundreds of millions of dollars in capital, do not apply. Okay? So, guys, this is important. This is important. We need to fight tooth and nail as it relates to what's going on with stuff. It really scares me. As confident I am in the marketplace right now, and it does appear as though we're starting to show some upside to the market, and we see demand. We have demand. We don't have inventory. So we're going to keep an eye out on that. Please, if you see anything.
I thought Gary was confident that wouldn't happen.
Secretary DeMarco seems to think.
Did you see his about face too about doing principal reductions too? That just happened. Was that 2 weeks ago?
Right. Well, we'll see. That's a whole other conversation. We don't have the time to get into that. But you guys should be following that stuff. I've kind of stopped pushing out all of these email blogs to you on a daily basis because I felt like I was spamming you. Who liked getting that stuff? Well, maybe I should just start sending it out again. Keep in mind, the majority. What's that? Or subscribe, because most of what I was sending was from DS News and Housing Wire and a few other sources. You can subscribe to all those yourself. They come to you free. Okay. And you really should. You should be subscribing because most of what I'm pushing you can get for yourself. There's one other thing that's going on. And by the way, I don't know if you know this, guys. I am your elected representative. I'm a California Association of Realtors director. I go to Sacramento to represent specifically you and Region 14, which is all of the Inland Empire. So you're paying for me to go up there. I mean, they only pay for my hotel and food, but you know, you're part of your board dues go to send 10 of us or so to Sacramento. There's another thing going on, which has to do with. Is anybody in here a political junkie when it comes to following bills and tracking stuff? You see George and okay, I got two of you. Okay, so I'm talking to two of you. This is the deal. In Sacramento, CAR, in addition to this bulk sales stuff, CAR, we look at this legislation. What's favorable for the industry? What's going to be negative to the industry? There is a package of bills. They're calling it. I might have the name wrong. I don't think it's the Nevada package. It's the Nevada something. And they're coming from the AG as the Attorney General. Okay. Normally, when a bill is introduced in the state legislature, it comes from either the Senate side or comes from the Assembly side. One of our elected representatives could put together a bill. Senate Bill 15 wants to do this, and Assembly Bill, X wants to do that. This is a little different. These bills are being introduced by the Attorney General of the state of California. Very unusual. Okay. And what they're doing, has anybody followed what's happened to the real estate market in Nevada in the last 9 months? Well, if you haven't, let me tell you what's happened. The real estate market in Nevada, let's just suppose that this is a market, whether it was good or bad, this was the market 9 months ago. This is the market today. And specifically, Nevada has got a lot of distressed property, just like we do. And I'm going to get the numbers wrong, but I'm going to be pretty darn close. In Nevada, in August of last year, they were processing, for the entire state, they were processing about 5,500 properties through the foreclosure process, basically through a notice of sale process, on an average monthly basis. They passed a whole bunch of rules, the Nevada legislature passed a whole bunch of laws, basically, that has put different responsibilities on the banks and the lenders. They have to do certain things before they can go through the foreclosure process. So they went from about 5,500 properties going through the foreclosure process on a monthly basis down to 250. Statewide. Now granted, Nevada's not that big of a state. I don't know what percentage decrease that is, but 95% decrease in activity. So that sounds like a good idea, right? Answer no. Okay. Well, it's such a good idea, the Attorney General in California wants to put the exact same laws into effect in the state of California. So you think we have an inventory problem now? This would basically completely crush and stop, at least for a period of time, which I don't know whether it would be months or years, the ability for the banks in effect to effectively process the properties through foreclosure. So we're fighting this, all right? So when you guys get an email, and the reason I go through so much on it, you should be getting emails from CAR. You should be getting this information from NAR that says, hey, we want you to oppose this, or we want you to respond to a red alert or something like that. Take a minute, read it, oppose it. If you don't understand it, come see my office. I'll spend as much time with you as you want. We need to fight this. This is serious stuff.
We're talking about foreclosure stuff, but
Correct.
which is getting rid of backlogged inventory, but there's always going to be sellers selling.
True.
So, I mean, they're still going to need realtors.
Oh, absolutely.
But they're really not getting rid of backlogged activity, right? They're just kind of delaying it,
Well, in
prolonging
this
it.
particular, this is one of the, there's like 6 different bills that are part of this package in Nevada. One of them, and this all came out of the Robosigning settlement with all of the major banks. Okay, Robosigning settlement was finalized a month or 2 ago. About 5 months ago, they kind of agreed on it, and then some, judge, Circuit District 75 said finally we bless it and we approve it. But part of what was happening in the Robosigning scandal was, remember Linda Green? Linda Green was the person who signed. Her signature appeared on tens of thousands of documents, and she was the one who basically was saying this property meets the criteria and certifying that it's ready to go through the system. And then the 60-minute story came out and said, well, we were all named Linda Green, and we're all sitting in our office, and we're all signing names as Linda Green. All 40 of us were sitting in our office. So that's a simplistic explanation of what the Robosigning scandal was all about. But anyway, coming out of that scandal, one of what Nevada said is now the banks, in response to Linda Green, have to certify that everything is in order prior to filing that notice of default, notice of sale. And certification means certain things. That bam, 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 bam. Everything has to be perfect. So I don't know what the settlement. You know what the settlement was, Paul? How much money they actually agreed to pay? Anybody?
$25 million.
Billions?
5
$26 billion.
26 billion? There's a lot of money. Anyway, the banks aren't interested in, going through this again. So Nevada's response is, well, if you're going to make us certified, I guess we better certify. So they went from doing this down to doing this. By the way, keep in mind, our foreclosure system has worked pretty darn good for my entire real estate career. I think we've been doing, traditional real estate and foreclosure or trust deed sales for, 50, 60, 70 years. But at any rate, now it's all broken. So with that in mind, that's one of the things that they want to do. Another thing they want to do has some, restrictions on short sales and what banks can and cannot do. But the bottom line is, it's not. If you read through it, you can say, yeah, okay, this kind of makes sense, and of course you want to certify. That makes sense. That makes common sense. But it's just the unintended consequences of what would ultimately come through the pipeline. So at any rate, keep an eye on those, because I think they're really. Everybody got any other questions on those? Otherwise, we're gonna end this meeting at 10.
I think was there another bill or something that they're going to impose in June to make these short sales go faster?
Yes.
They have to
Yes,
mandatorily.
and that is, I don't remember the exact deadlines, but they have to, which again, could be a problem. Who's seen the emails that say, hey, new law comes in, the banks have to give you an answer within, I think, was it 60 days?
30 days.
30 days.
30
They have to give you an answer within 30 days. It's going to speed up the process. Sounds great, right? You want to hear the opposite, the other side of the coin? This is the fear.
Documents got to be in.
Well, this is what and frankly, it makes perfect sense to me. I'm now a bank. I have to give you a decision within 30 days. Well, guess what? I'm not prepared to give you a decision within 30 days. So guess what my answer is going to be?
No.
You're rejected. I can't do it in 30 days. So I think probably on day 20, a manager somewhere is going to sit back and say, well, geez, we're not ready. Declined. It doesn't say they have to approve it in 30 days. So they have to give you an answer in 30 days. So my fear is the unintended consequence of what it sounded like a good law. Did we all think, hey, that's a great idea. The bank has to give us an answer within 30 days. Those damn banks that are taking too much time and yada, yada, yada.
Won't they foreclose sooner, though, if they're just going to deny the short sale?
Exactly.
I don't know. We've had a market that's really worked for a very, very long period of time, and now we're tinkering with the edges. And think about it. Put yourself, and again, I'm not an evil bank hater. I think the banks do just fine. I've never complained when I've got a loan for anything. Oh my God, you're giving me money? Are you crazy? How could you give me money? So now I'm in this situation where I'm a bank and I'm told I have to do this, otherwise I'm going to be now in violation of some civil code, and I'm going to have to pay penalties. Well, if my business model doesn't allow me to follow that rule, then I'm going to take the path of least resistance, which means sorry, your short sale is denied. So we'll see. There was a lot of chatter about that at CAR by some very, very smart people. And the general consensus was, this could ultimately end up hurting our short sale process as opposed to helping it. Surprise? Shocking. So, at any rate, anything else? Okay, moving right along. We have new office phones. Everybody should have a phone on their desk that looks something like this, okay? If you haven't been told already, does everybody have a phone? Looks like we're 100% covered. Okay. And how long is it going to be, Brian? 2 weeks?
About a week.
About a week. The Panasonic phones on your desk are going away, okay? That will be your new phone. In the meantime, and has anybody been using those phones for outgoing calls? 2 of you, 3 of you, okay. Please, starting today and until you're told otherwise, on your outgoing phone calls, if you're calling out, please use the Cisco phone instead of the Panasonic phone.
Starting today, you said?
Starting right now, starting today. Now the Panasonic phone still works and you can use that, and frankly you will have to use the Panasonic phone for any incoming calls. So if you get a call that comes to the switchboard, the Cisco phone will not ring, hey, you got a call, it's going to go to the Panasonic. So if you're getting incoming calls for the next week or so, you will be using the current phone on your desk. But if you're making outgoing calls, please use the Cisco phone. And I want to use it basically for 2 reasons. Number one, I want you to get comfortable with it. But basically, we're looking for problems. Okay, we want to know sound quality good, the voice is garbled. You don't really have static because it's digital, but you kind of get that underwater. You can't hear what's going on. Drop calls, that sort of stuff. It is imperative that we know if we have any problems with the phone system. This is not a new phone system. We deployed this in Redlands 2 months ago. It works beautifully. Yes.
Was it working yesterday?
Was what working yesterday?
The phone system?
Yes.
Because when I called in, it just kept rerouting me into that voicemail saying the operator is busy.
Okay.
And
That's
then it got
Panasonic.
on hold.
That's a different situation. That was our receptionist must have just been swamped and buried. But that's different. That's not that that's not a problem, but that's
I was
different.
just wondering.
But basically, I want you to use the phone and let us know if there's a quality issue. Drop calls, okay? And if you do have that, report it to Brian or myself immediately. It's not necessarily a problem with the phone system. It's a problem with our configuration. We need to set up and bandwidth, whatever else. And I'll just give you one little tip. And Brian, we need to put out a little instruction, one sheet or something like that. Well, basically, let me give you the one tip. And there's probably 20 tips that Brian can give you. But when you're calling out, you have to include the area code. Okay? Even if it's 951, then your number. And then you can either sit and wait. Sometimes you'll have to wait 10 seconds for the phone to connect. Or you press the dial button. So you dial the number, hit dial. It should connect you instantly. These phones, once they're completely deployed, are going to do multiple wonderful things for us. I'll just give you 3 examples, and they may not necessarily be specifically important to those of you working here as an agent, but it's certainly going to help us at an office. It will connect all of our offices together. So if you're working with an agent in Claremont and their extension is 52, you'll hit 52, and you'll basically be able to intercom them over an extension, just like if they were an agent in this office. Be able to do the same thing with Escrow. Another thing that's probably a little bit more important to you guys, if you want, we will give you phones that you can take home and you can put on your desk at home. And your phone will ring at home just as if you were in the office. Who has a home office? So half it, not more. Now before, when I did this, I think with the old phones, by the way, the old phones would do that, and I think there's 3 people that take advantage of it. And I'm 1, Brian's 2, and I don't know who the 3rd one was, but there's not a lot of people that are taking advantage of that. Anyway, these phones can follow you home, okay? So, and that's up at the front desk, and they're looking for the Delgados, and they hit extension 2, whatever your extension is. It'll ring here in the office, it'll ring at your home phone if you want. They can forward to your cell, they can do all sorts of cool things. You can change caller IDs. Who likes to call out, but really would prefer that the consumer has your cell phone number instead of the office phone number? Okay, at least a few of you. I'm that way. Believe it or not, when I'm dialing at the office, I would prefer that even though I'm sitting at my office, that the caller ID on the other side shows up on my cell phone, because then I leave the office and I would just assume that they call me directly on my cell. And frankly, I get frustrated when people call me and they leave me a voicemail and the caller ID is their office, but then they leave me the voicemail that says, but call me on my cell, it's a different number, because now I'm driving. Dang it, I want to hit the call back button, but it's not the number they want me to call. So at any rate, if you fall into that bucket, when you're calling out, and if I say anything wrong, Brian, let me know. We can program your phone to show your cell phone's caller ID, which for a few of you, you might say, that's pretty cool. Who thinks that's cool? All right, good. All right, great. Anyway, there's 3 or 4 things. There's another 22 things that we'll get you some more information on. But we really need you to help us test these phones, because if you do start using them and everybody in the office is reporting back problems, then we're not going to flip the switch a week from now. We're going to delay that until we know it's solid. Brian, I'm sure there's more to add to that. Did I get it?
No, you hit it pretty good. I'm just going to reiterate what he said about testing. That is so critical. I don't want to pull the pin, switch over to the new system, and then I get 10 complaints that it doesn't work right. So let's try and find that before we cross that bridge. I found some of those problems with Redlands, and Redlands was a good guinea pig. They did help us iron out a lot of the quirks, so I think we're going to have a pretty smooth deployment, but nonetheless, we're adding twice as many people to the system now, so it's a pretty big jump. So just use the phone to make outbound calls and, see how it goes.
Anybody have 7-Up in the refrigerator?
That was mine.
Oh,
That's Anna's? I'll pardon you. By the way, don't do that. Don't steal it. Now that office manager, there'll be no refrigerator theft going on. Thank you, Ann. Okay, so anyway, please test these phones, let us know and I do, even though they may look a little bit less in stature, maybe they don't quite have as many buttons as the Panasonic, this is an upgrade. You are going to love these telephones. Okay, they do a lot of cool stuff. Okay, next, somebody asked me, who sent me this? Was it Michael sent me this? Michael sent me this. Okay, who's selling a house in Moreno Valley Ranch? Who has an open escrow? Is it an investor? Owner occupant? Investor?
Owner occupant.
Okay, our office is being sued right now. Active, open litigation. Drew's fault. Where's Drew? Drew screwed this up. Okay?
It is what it is.
This is actually it wasn't his fault. It's a silly lawsuit, but we have to defend it. It cost me $10,000 of deductible on E&O. If you're not aware of this, Moreno Valley Ranch has restrictions in their CC&Rs which prohibit the property at close of escrow to be tenant occupied. It has to be owner occupied for 12 months. After 12 months of the owner purchaser living in it, then they can rent it out. Okay? I think what Michael was telling me is there finally are some homeowners, apparently they're trying to rally and say this is stupid, it's hurting the market, and so on and so forth.
What they're saying was that if you happen to purchase a home today and you close this, there will be fines assessed each month until the problem is corrected. So if it's $2,500 plus, if it takes you 4 months to correct the problem, it's going to be $10,000 in fees.
Well, it's even more than that because then there's legal fees and all sorts of other stuff. And again, we're being sued right now.
You know, we should have a disclosure to cover us.
What's that?
We should have like a hold harmless disclosure disclosing that.
This is the truth.
Clarify how it's not my fault.
We were the listing agent. We disclosed the property is in Moreno Valley Ranch. Any attorneys in the room? Spouses of attorneys? Dwayne's an attorney? We disclosed the property was in Moreno Valley Ranch. We disclosed the property was subject to the CC&Rs and rules and regulations, so on and so forth. The buyer signed off on that. Okay? Buyer also signed off there was a thing in escrow that basically outlined the amendment to the CC&Rs that said you cannot do this. The buyer's agent apparently said, don't worry about it, they don't enforce it.
Oh, wow.
Closed escrow. Well, guess what? They are enforcing it. That's what I love Coldwell Banker, guys. I'm bleeding Coldwell Banker blue, and but I gotta tell you, there's a problem with being Coldwell Banker. Coldwell Banker tattooed on your chest. The consumer sees that and thinks we're billionaires. Big corporation. Son of a guns, I'm going to sue Coldwell Banker. So guess what they're doing? They're suing Coldwell Banker. So we have to defend it. And ultimately, I'm sure, even though, in my opinion, we were cool with what we did from a disclosure standpoint, I'm certain that our E&O carrier will pay something out.
Yeah.
It's a nuisance, just to make it go away. Okay? And along those lines, and if we did not, having said that, we did not disclose, we did not have an addendum, who said put an addendum together? We did not have an addendum on our contract that said, oh, by the way, we see that you are a non-owner occupant. We want you to know you can't do this. Now, in hindsight, it would have been nice if we had done that. I think we still would have gotten sued. But at the same time, can you park an RV in the driveway at Moreno Valley Ranch in front of your house?
Yeah, for less than 24 hours.
Okay. You can't store it there for an extended period of time? Okay, what if you're working with a client and they happen to pull up in their RV and now they're showing properties in Moreno Valley Ranch? Are we now responsible to disclose? Oh, by the way, just so you know, you're not allowed to park an RV in your driveway for more than 24 hours. Do we need a separate addendum for that?
No.
Well, no. What do? We say there's rules and regulations and CC&Rs. Go in there and read them. There may be some things that you don't like. You know, you may want to paint. Are we supposed to ask them what color do you plan on painting the house next year? Because you just sold their house. You just sold their house in wherever, and you pull up the house you sold was pink, and every other house in the neighborhood is brown. But your seller just sold that house and it's painted pink. Now you're representing them as a buyer in Moreno Valley. Are you supposed to ask them, oh, by the way, do you plan on painting your new house pink? Because I noticed your last house was pink. No, we don't do that. We say read the CC&Rs, because the CC&Rs will tell you that you can't paint your house pink. At any rate, bottom line is, this is a big deal. So pay attention if you're selling houses in Moreno Valley Ranch. We have one lawsuit in the works right now and a second lawsuit that's probably coming down the pipeline in this office over this issue. What a year to raise my deductible for E&O. I did last year. I raised the deductible to 10 grand. Did 3 lawsuits this year. $30,000 in deductible fees. Prior to that, guess how many lawsuits we had had in the prior 24 years in business at Coldwell Banker buying real estate? 0. 3 in
That's because you
2011.
changed your deductible. You had to know that.
3 in 2011. Just aggravating. Okay, coldwellbanker.com. Most of you probably aren't even aware of this, and this is not a good thing, but I'm letting you know. Actually, it will be a good thing. Currently, if you send a consumer to coldwellbanker.com, which probably most of you are not doing this, okay? But if a consumer just randomly lands on coldwellbanker.com, right now the listings that they have available are not all of the listings in the MLS. It's basically Coldwell Banker listings. I personally think that's stupid. Consumer goes there, they take a look at it. Geez, what's out? This is only Coldwell Banker. What about the Remax listing across the street? Okay, anyway, that is going to change, I think, at the end of this week or the end of next week. That is good news for us. Because now if a consumer goes there and they're doing just a blanket search, it will have all of, I believe, I may be wrong, but it will certainly have more than just Coldwell Banker. It's supposed to have all the listings, which should be more business for us. Now they're searching for something, they find a Remax sign, they click on the button, I want more interest, well that lead comes to us, okay? So anyway, that's going to change here, from what I understand, the end of this week or next.
That's because of you?
No. I've been bitching about it for 4 years, but no, it's just happening. I'll take it. Okay. Videos. Who came in and noticed our green screen on the wall? Okay. By the way, it's not going to stay up all the time because it looks pretty ugly. It is. But we've got it up. We did some videos yesterday. I want to show you guys a couple of videos that, actually I want to show you 2 videos. Is that one easy to find on our YouTube channel?
YouTube. Go to our channel.
And I wanted to show you, is yours easy to find? Do you know where that's at?
I didn't know you were going to show it.
You know I was going to show it.
What's the point of having it?
All right. By the way, we have a YouTube channel. It's youtube.com/CBPRE.
First one at the top.
Who's been to our YouTube channel? There's a lot of cool stuff here. You know, I'm pretty proud. We got 2,300 people that have watched our YouTube channels. I'm 2,100 of them. So we've got a few. If you missed our rally, our featured video is John Schumacher.
Go to videos.
What's the name of the?
Go to videos.
Can I just type it in or?
Oh yeah, I can do it there. And just search for Hector. No, down below on our channel.
Oh.
On the right. On the right, right
Okay,
there.
sorry guys, I'm learning myself. Okay, this is a video that that Brian did. Are they the same?
The one on the left.
This is the good one?
Yeah.
Okay, this is a video that Brian did using the green screen last week. How long did it take Hector to do this?
About an hour.
An hour, only because he probably did a few takes. But anyway, check this out. I'm really proud of it, and Brian's put a lot of work into this. Might not, well, see for me. I don't really care for the music too much, but let me start over again. Down really fast before my battery drops. Okay, that was done on the green screen. Pretty cool? You like that? Could you hear that okay? Yeah. You guys hear it? Okay, so we're trying to step up our game and kind of put our money where our mouth is a little bit. Let me see how much battery I have left. This thing is going to drop dead on me. And hurry. So at any rate, now I will tell you, Hector is really good. Okay? Anybody know Hector? Hector works in our Comina office. He's got a good presence, man. I want to recruit him to actually maybe do some company-related video. He's just got a good look to him on the camera, and he sounds good, and all the rest of that sort of stuff. You find it, Anna? Okay. So, at any rate, I want to show you a video that George did with his permission. Is it easy to find on YouTube?
It's the one on our site if you want to do it that way.
It's on which site?
Well, when you go to the agents, find agents.
Oh, it's on the coldwellbanker.com site? Oh, okay. Now George's, if you're a little, who's video shy? Who doesn't want, who just has fear of doing what Hector just did? Okay. All right. So, hey, I get it. It's
No, I didn't do mine this way because I was video shy. I did mine because I don't look good on camera.
Well, I would disagree, and you keep telling me you're not video shy, and that's okay. Which, by the way, nobody noticed our major award. Nobody made any comment on the awards. I had the lampshade.
Yeah.
Do we know what that's from?
Christmas Carol.
Yeah, it's a major award.
Christmas story.
So if you were wondering why the heck did Lance have a leg lampshade on those award things, that's from what was it again? Christmas story. How many got that? Just 4 of us? Nobody said anything? Okay, I'm back on our website. I want to find an agent. And by the way, if you're not in here, you need to be. I'm going to look for George, click Marina Valley. This is going to take us to coldwellbanker.com site. And it's only going to show us folks that have videos up front. So hopefully George, this is where yours is loaded, right? George should be here. Looks like we've got, it's still loading. Video. Okay, so here's George's. I like this. I think this is a really good alternative. And again, I know George is a camera shy. He keeps telling me he's not afraid to do it. But for those of you that are just struggling with this, I don't like the way I look, I think this is a great option. And all you have to do is play around with the audio a little bit. Just record some stuff and then check this out. I think this is really cool. Play. Okay.
Hello, my name is George Lawson, and I'm a realtor with Pioneer Real Estate here in Marina Valley. My job, simply put, is to successfully match buyers and sellers, and to help guide them through the entire home buying process. Now, admittedly, there are literally hundreds of licensed real estate agents to choose from in the Inland Empire. So what sets me apart? Well, number one, I'm a local agent. I've lived in the Inland Empire for more than 25 years, along with my wife and 4 children. And my local presence in the community has provided me with an in-depth knowledge of the local real estate market. Second, I work with an exceptional team. I'm very privileged to be working
I'm actually going to stop it right there. You guys get the idea though, right?
Yeah.
Who would be more comfortable doing a video like that?
George is fine.
One of you? Steven? Steven's had some experience doing videos. It was painful, right?
I hate it.
Hate it. So, if George sent it over to me, and what do you, that's a screencast? Is that what you call it?
There's several different things that'll do that, but you're just basically recording whatever's on your screen. If you do a PowerPoint presentation behind it, then that's what you record.
Right. So right now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We have 8 agents with videos, which really isn't true because 2 of our Team Delgados, Teresa and Danny, are double dipping, which is fine. So if you've been holding back on the video because, and you know, we were shooting videos yesterday afternoon for some property management stuff, and it's tough. You know, I'm not uncomfortable under the camera, but it's tough. You stammer, you stutter, you're doing 40 seconds, and it's perfect for 37 seconds, and then the last one is, you know, and what's the nice part about that, and I know you just did one read.
It was one script.
I mean, George was literally able to sit there off camera and read it. But with the way we could do those is you wouldn't have to do that. You could just do segments, you know. Hi, my name is Shirley Lancaster. I work with Coldwell Banker. I'd like to tell you a little bit about how I list a property. Click. And then you can just basically piece all this together. So, anyway, I think before I said I wasn't going to talk anymore about videos at the sales meeting, but I lied. That's all I'm going to talk about. Our video, or I want our website to be 100% video. I want to do everything I can to eliminate all the text on our website completely, with the exception of a caption that says, here's the Delgado team, and then above them you click on their video and they tell you all about who they So, at any rate, I'm almost done. Assemblyman Paul Cook, current sitting assemblyman, state of California, he is going to be at Century 21 Showcase on May 31st at 3 o'clock. Okay? I don't remember what, does anybody know what district he's in? 41 or something like that? At any rate, he is a supporter of our causes. He's running for Congress. It is an election year, if you haven't figured that out. So, and he's running for Congress, so if you're interested in that, you can come see him there. And I'm done. Does anybody have any questions? Any questions? None?
We can use that, we can all use that green screen?
Yeah, this is the deal. I don't want to leave it up there because it's just ugly. We'll, you know, if you have some interest in shooting some videos, you know, let Brian know. I don't know, maybe we'll just set something up, you know, once a week or a couple times a month. Or quite honestly, if you see us in there doing something and you just want to jump in and you've practiced your script and you want to take 3 minutes and record something while we're doing it, we'll slip you right in there and we'll take care of it.